She fell in love with two guys. What happened will shock you. Come with me. Let's find out together. Hey guys, today we bring you another banger that will keep you at the edge of your seat. But before we dive in, I'm sure you need something to step down. Why don't you grab a snack as you sit back to watch this amazing masterpiece? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more captivating movies from us. The story begins with a young lady and a young man, Ajoke and Williams, who were in the middle of exchanging their vows. But suddenly, something happened. A lady walked out and exposed to the audience that Williams had been cheating with Ajoke's bridesmaid. Hearing this, Ajoke became furious and ran out of the event. Williams ran after her, but she rushed into a car and went home devastated. The next day, Williams came looking for her but got no response. Meanwhile, Ajoke was already preparing to move to Lagos to start a new life. 2 days later, Williams went to Ajoke's house, but her mother told him she had already relocated to Lagos. 2 years later, Ajoke stepped out of a car with a young man named Stanley. They chatted briefly before she went inside, while her friend watched from the window, excited for her. The next night, Ajoke and Stanley spent time together, chatting, drinking, and eventually kissing. The following evening, after a date, Stanley went down on one knee and proposed to Ajoke. She accepted, and they hugged each other in excitement. The next day, we are introduced to another lovely couple-to-be, Vivian and Ken. Ken was on the phone with Stanley, who broke the good news that he had proposed to Ajoke, and she said yes. Ken was so happy for him. Vivian then took the phone, inviting them for their get-together, and even requested Ajoke to be one of her bridesmaids. Ajoke was surprised at first, but later accepted. 2 days later, Stanley and Ajoke arrived at the venue. Ken and Vivian welcomed them warmly. Stanley asked about Williams and his girlfriend, Ugana, but Ken told him they would arrive the next day. Vivian then took Ajoke inside for a girls' conversation while the men chatted outside. That night, Stanley encouraged Vivian to rest, but she insisted on finishing her work first. Though Stanley wasn't happy, he went to bed without her. The following morning, while Ajoke was still asleep, Stanley got ready to meet the guys. On stepping outside, Williams and his girlfriend Ugana had just arrived. They all laughed and chatted. Ugana asked about Stanley's girlfriend, and he told her Ajoke was still asleep. Later, Vivian took Ugana inside to show her the wedding dress. Coincidentally, Ugana picked the same material Ajoke had chosen. Curious about Ajoke, Ugana asked if she was a nice person. Vivian reassured her, and eventually urged her to meet Ajoke. Meanwhile, the guys stayed outside chatting until they felt hungry, so Ken ordered food for everyone. Inside, the ladies chatted in Ajoke's room. Soon, Ugana and Vivian went out to eat, leaving Ajoke to freshen up. As they sat eating, someone asked about Ajoke. Just then, Ajoke walked out and joined them. But guys, guess what? The Ajoke who just walked in was the same Ajoke who once almost married Williams. Wow, what a small world. But the drama didn't end there. Ajoke and Williams immediately got into an argument, leaving everyone wondering what was really going on. After a few minutes, things calmed down and they continued eating. But Ajoke was distracted. She barely touched her food as memories of Williams kept flooding her mind. Soon, the tension rose again. Their argument continued, making the get-together look dull. This time, Williams excused himself. Ajoke also stood up angrily and left the table. Seriously, this is becoming interesting. But the big question is, who will Ajoke choose in the end, Williams or Stanley? While Ajoke was leaving, Williams stopped her, and they began arguing again. Ajoke couldn't stand the fact that he cheated on her, but was still lying. They both declared to each other's face that they would never allow their partners marry them. The argument grew heated until Stanley and the others rushed in to stop them. That same day, Ken warned Williams to put an end to the beef with Ajoke, for Vivian's sake. Later, Vivian and Ugana were upset over their own issues. But Ugana insisted that Williams would never cause trouble if Ajoke hadn't said something hurtful. She got angry and left, with Vivian following behind. Inside the room, Ajoke paced restlessly. Stanley walked in asking what was wrong, but Ajoke was so pissed that she ignored his question. Instead, she tried to distract herself by spending time with the group. Meanwhile, Ugana went to meet Williams, asking what Ajoke had said to make him so angry. Williams brushed it off, asking why she thought Ajoke was at fault. Her response made Williams think of Ajoke, who never believed him. He then hugged Ugonna. Back in the living room, everyone sat quietly until Stanley broke the silence, suggesting they all go for a swim. They agreed. While they splashed and had fun, Ajoke's face said it all. She wasn't happy. That night, Ajoke couldn't sleep. Memories of her past with Williams haunted her. She went outside to chill. Coincidentally, Williams couldn't sleep either. He stepped out and saw her. Ajoke immediately wanted to leave, but Williams attacked her with words. They argued before he stormed off to the pool. When Ajoke returned inside, Stanley, who had been awake, asked why she was acting strange. He even asked if it was because of Williams, but she brushed it off, claiming she was just used to being awake because of work. Meanwhile, Williams went inside to enjoy the night with Ugonna. The next morning, Ken and Williams were outside exercising when Stanley joined them. Ken asked why Williams wasn't up early, and Stanley mentioned Ajoke. Immediately, Williams' mood changed. Pretending to sprain his ankle, he used it as an excuse to stop. They all went jogging afterward. Meanwhile, Ugonna was snooping through Williams' box. To her surprise, she found a ring and got excited, believing Williams would soon propose. At the pool, while the ladies were having fun, Ugonna broke the news that Williams would soon propose. Ajoke's mood shifted instantly, remembering how Williams once proposed to her and promised forever. Out of frustration, Ajoke turned to Ugonna and asked, "How can you settle for a cheating, lying man like Williams?" This shocked both Ugonna and Vivian. Vivian even asked Ajoke if Williams had once asked her out. Ajoke hesitated, then said, wow, guys, this is really incredible." Why would both of them be mad at Williams if Ajoke herself had made a mistake? But let's not judge too soon. The real question is, did Williams truly cheat on her or not? Back in her room, Ajoke grew paranoid, lost in thoughts. When Stanley entered, she asked if he would ever cheat on her. Stanley said no, but was shocked at what triggered such a question. Ajoke walked out on him. 2 days later, while everyone was having fun playing games, something happened. Do you want to know? Stay tuned, because this will blow your mind. Ajoke dared Williams to say the truth. Had he ever cheated on a woman he claimed to love? Williams, knowing where she was heading, calmly replied, "No, I haven't." Ajoke immediately objected, calling him a liar. Everyone was shocked as the tension almost turned into a fight. Ajoke stormed outside, with Williams following. Guys, this is not funny at all. How could she still be this mad after all these years? After all, they were never married. What do you think? Personally, I believe Ajoke is still in love with Williams. Outside, Ajoke looked restless. Vivian approached, trying to make her talk, but she brushed it off. After Vivian left, Ajoke saw Williams and tried to speak with him, but Williams was upset. He reminded her how she had blocked him all these years, refusing to hear his side, and now suddenly wanted to talk. In the heat of their words, neither of them could resist. They kissed. OMG. Ugonna saw them, her mouth wide open. Soon, the others saw too. Stanley, furious, punched Williams. Inside, Stanley was boiling with anger, while Ugonna cried as Vivian tried to calm her down. But Ugonna refused to believe Williams had been the one who kissed Ajoke. Then Williams entered. Stanley was ready to fight again, but Williams dropped the big revelation. Ajoke was his ex-fiancée. He explained everything that happened on their wedding day. Ajoke immediately defended herself, insisting he had cheated with her bridesmaid. But then, Stanley shocked everyone. He revealed that Williams had done that before even meeting Ajoke. Ajoke was left speechless. Later, Vivian was seen consoling her. However, Ken and Williams were chatting at the riverside, not even knowing what to do, when Stanley walked up to them. He apologized for not letting Williams know earlier, explaining that he didn't know how to talk to him about it, and that's why he just allowed everyone to move on. But Ajoke kept on pushing. After that, Stanley forgave him. When Stanley went back to the room, Ajoke was seated on the bed. Now he understood why she had asked him such a question about cheating. Stanley was not happy at all with Ajoke. She tried to talk to him, but he walked out. Meanwhile, Williams was with Ugonna, who was concerned for him. As they chatted, Ajoke came in, wanting to speak with him. While they were seated outside, Ajoke requested to know what really happened between him and Sonia. Williams explained everything to her, including what he went through and how his friend advised him to move out of town. That was when Ajoke realized her mistake and pleaded with him. but Williams stood up and went inside. Later, while everyone was waiting, Williams and Ajoke walked back inside. Immediately, Williams went down on one knee to propose to Ugonna. But guess what? Ajoke was against it. Like seriously, you weren't expecting that, right? Same here. Everyone was shocked, but finally, Williams proposed to Ugonna and she accepted. Still, Stanley's mouth was wide open because of Ajoke's reaction. Moments later, Ajoke was in the room when Stanley came in and broke up with her. Even though Ajoke tried to make him understand that she loved him and that they could still make things work, he didn't agree. Is that really true love after what he saw? I mean, which man would want to end up with a woman who still loves her ex? That's too risky. What do you think, guys? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Later that day, Vivian was seen encouraging Ajoke. Hours later, Ajoke was already leaving. Everyone walked her off. She apologized to Williams and Ugonna for all she had put them through, and also bid them goodbye, returning the ring Stanley gave her. Honestly, that was so emotional. After that, she left. The following night, both Williams and his fiancée, together with Ken and his fiancée, were having fun, chatting and laughing. Meanwhile, Stanley was walking around, still unable to get over what had happened. Guys, what do you think of Ajoke's character in this movie? Do drop your comments in the comments section. The moral lesson of this movie is, never let your past control your present. Love is built on trust, and once trust is broken, it is very difficult to rebuild. If you don't let go of yesterday, you might lose the blessings of today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more educative movies from us. Till we meet again.